Those are his words. Everyone has to make their own judgment. If you don't believe me, fine, but you have to provide an alternative explanation for all the evidence which points in the direction I think is not just plausible but overwhelmingly likely. If you can find another explanation for that, fine. But what you cannot do, in my view, is simply dismiss it as being unreasonable, conspiratorial, wild, off the wall. These are the kind of phrases that people use. They are facts. They're uncomfortable facts. They're shocking facts. Deeply, deeply shocking. But you have to face up to them because they have actually happened. And they demand an explanation which is the most cogent, the most compelling, the most plausible to fit those facts. That's what I've tried to do. We do need to know the truth. Not I, but first of all, the widows and families of those 3,000 who died on 9/11. They demand to know the truth, and I think they are absolutely entitled to it. I think if, again, this is about a war on terror, I can see no reason why the US authorities are not prepared to make available all the documentary evidence. The amount of that which is about national security and therefore should be kept concealed is very small, if it exists at all, because this is not about national security and defending the homeland in the United States. It's already been attacked. And Americans surely are entitled to know the full, untrammeled, unqualified, unequivocal background to what happened, what lay behind it, who organized it, how was it planned, how was it funded, how was it carried through, how did the government react before, on the day and afterwards. All of that material in a functioning democracy ought to be made available to people. So that, I think, is the first and absolutely central requirement. The second is, of course, what actions people take in the light of that. That, again, is not for me to say. I think it is for the American people, particularly, of course, the families, but the wider American people, and, of course, the parliamentary institutions in the United States, the Congress, for Senate and the House of Congress. It is House of Representatives. It is for them to decide whether there is a case for the government to answer, and I presume that if there is, they will press it. And I suppose the third point is, if I am right that we should be taking much more seriously the project for a new America century and the will, the aspiration to world domination, which I believe is clearly contained in it, then I think that is something for the other major governments of the world, in the EU, Japan, Russia, China, the Muslim nations, all to take much more closely and to consider what their response should be. Nobody wants war. Nobody wants an endless era of terrorism, counter-terrorism going on endlessly, which cannot be militarily controlled. We need a new world order. And I think if we got at the truth about 9/11, that could be the biggest trigger to what this world needs more than anything, which is a new political world order, led by the United Nations, not by any one state claiming world hegemony.